Also, this video is going to be pretty much about I don't know. What I'm doing a video. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Tay. Welcome to my YouTube channel. For all of my new subscribers, hi, welcome. Thank you guys for joining. For all my old subscribers, what's up, y'all? So let's go ahead and get right into this video. First of all, I do want to say, y'all don't say nothing about my bed. I know that it's not made up, but that's because as soon as I finish recording, I'm getting right back in it. So don't judge me. Please judge your mother. Thank you. As you can see, this video is going to be why I decided to get in the medical field. I have a lot of people asking me that. So I said, let me just make a video about it, because this is really not what I wanted to do coming out of high school. I wanted to be a social worker. I wanted to deal with adopted kids. That's what I wanted to do. But of course, time went on, life happened, and I had to change of heart. And that's okay. And I'm actually glad that I changed my mind. But so we're gonna start off in high school. In high school, I found out I was pregnant with my first child, my first son, a couple of days after graduation. So there was no college for me. I went straight into working. And my mom, she helped me with my child, of course. She was like my main support. Anything I needed, she was there. Anytime I needed to go to work, my first job was McDonald's, so of course she would watch him while I go to work. And yeah, life was good. Life was okay, you know, working at McDonald's. One child, I was still living in my parents' house, so I didn't really have that many bills. Life was good, y'all. I was making it work. And then something tragic happened. We were actually living with my cousin, and my cousin ended up passing. He ended up getting shot in the head. And we were all living in his house. So with that being said, we had, you know, it was a lot of things that had to change. I had to go out and get my first apartment. Y'all, I was so scared. I had to go out and get my first apartment. My mom ended up getting her own place. My brothers ended up getting their own place. So everybody just split. And that was kind of tough and kind of hard on us, because we had just lost one of the important family members. Like, this man, he was like my dad. He was my cousin, but he was like my dad. But he always kept the family together. We can pick up the phone and call him for anything, and he would do it for us. So that was kind of hard for us. This moment when we lost the main thing that kept everybody together, we had to split. So that was kind of hard. It actually took a toll out of my mom. Hard. Like, that was like her best friend, and after he died, she just felt like, you know, there's no point in me being here. All of her kids were grown. Yes, she had grandchildren, but I don't know, I guess she just felt like, you know, my best friend is gone, so what else is there for me to, why am I here? So fast forward, we all had moved to, I still had my own apartment or whatever. My mom, she did have kidney failure, so she was going to dialysis 3 days out the week. She was still, you know, doing that. And then a couple of weeks passed, and we noticed my mom coughing a lot. And my mom, she smoked a lot. She did. She smoked since she was 14 years old. So we knew that she was a smoker, and we just figured, you know, that's why she kept smoking. And every time we would say, "Mom, what's wrong?" "Oh no, it's just a smoker's cough. I'm fine." Y'all, months went on. She started coughing up blood. And when she started coughing up blood, wait a minute. Pause. What? That's not no smoker's cough. Don't make you cough up. "Mama, what's going on? Like, now you gotta go to the doctor." And she's like, "No, I'm fine." She was very stubborn. Very stubborn. Did not want to go to the doctor. Did not want to go to the hospital. Every time we would call the paramedics, y'all, she would tell them, "I'm not going. I don't want to go. Ain't nothing wrong with me, da da da." So we had to sit there and we had to deal with that. But then I guess one day the coughing got so bad. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't catch her breath. She couldn't do any of that. So she actually got up and she went to the hospital. And she didn't even, when the day she came home, she didn't even tell us what they said. She was just like, "Oh, I'm fine, you know, don't worry, da da da." And then maybe a couple of days later, my aunt came down. She's a retired nurse now. and she lived in North Carolina, and she came down or whatever, and she sat everybody down. She kind of told us, she kind of told us what was going on. And they told me that my mom, she had lung cancer, and her lung cancer was so severe, y'all, her lung cancer was so severe that she had to start chemo immediately. So immediately I just started crying, because when someone hears cancer, any kind of cancer, immediately you always think, oh, you're dying, or oh, you're going to die, or oh, you're about to die. So that was my thought. Oh, my mother is dying. So y'all, I freaked out. Like, what do you mean cancer? Like, what? Not knowing anything about it. Really, my first time ever hearing anybody in our family having lung cancer or any type of cancer, if that. So I'm like, what do you mean lung cancer? So y'all, I'm crying. My brothers were crying, because we're like, mama is dying. So she kept going to her dialysis 3 days out the week. She was going to get her chemo, stuff like that. And my mom, she, like I said, y'all, she was stubborn, and her breathing had got so bad that she had to walk around with the oxygen tank, with the little oxygen around her nose with the tank, and she didn't like that. My mom was like, I'm not walking around with this thing is ugly. I'm like, it is, but it's saving your life. Like, can you just keep it? She didn't like it. So I'm gonna try to get through this without crying. But so some days my mom, like, she would just get fed up. Like, she was tired of struggling. She was tired of not being able to breathe. She was just tired, and she would just turn her oxygen down a little at a time. And when she would turn it down, it was times my brother said that he came in and it was lower than what it was supposed to, and he had to actually crank it up. And we were like, is she turning it down by herself? Like, it's the settings and and kind of found out she was turning it down herself, y'all. She was tired. She didn't want to be here anymore. And one day she turned it down, and she turned down a little bit too low, and she fell asleep, and that was it. My brother came, I think he came in from work, and he walked in her room, and he said he touched her and she was cold, and it looked like she was turning blue. So he immediately started CPR, and he called the paramedics or whatever. And when the paramedics got there, they resumed CPR, and they got her to the hospital. And when they got her to the hospital, they put her on a ventilator, they put a breathing machine on her and stuff like that. But it was too late. Her brain was without oxygen for 25 minutes, and your brain can only go without oxygen but for so long, and that was a little bit too long. And that was it. Once your brain loses oxygen, once it doesn't get any oxygen, it's dead. It's no activity whatsoever. And that's just what happened. So well, of course we had to make a decision. My mom had already told us, if anything ever happened to her, for one, she wanted to be cremated, and two, she didn't want to be a vegetable, which was pretty much the state that she was in. She didn't have no brain activity, so she was just here. And we had to make a decision. So of course, me and my 2 older brothers, we had to get together and pull the plug. Something nobody wanted us to do. And I don't know about anybody else, but when you have death in your family, it kind of having death in your family is supposed to bring y'all together, but sometimes it does separate people because of the anger and the decisions that that the family has to make. But I can say, me and my brothers, we kind of fell out a little bit because of the ashes, because there's 3 of us, and we wanted to split the ashes, but the other person didn't want to. But we ended up getting it together and coming back together as a family, and we've been doing it good ever since. So with that being said, once I found out my mom had lung cancer and she died, y'all, I felt useless. Like, I felt helpless because I could not help my mother. I didn't know anything about her sickness. I didn't know. I could have caught it a long time ago. That's how I felt. I felt like I could have caught it a long time ago. And I could have helped her a long time ago. So with that being said, I kind of made a decision. Oh no, let me go to school. I got to go learn something. I don't care if it's the basic. I got to learn something because I got a child, I have family, and if anybody else have to go through this, I want to be the one to be like, okay, y'all, these are the signs. You need to go see the doctor. So that's what I did. I went into before I got into school. 3 days after my mom passed, I found out I was pregnant with my second son. Y'all, my world dropped because I'm like, what am I gonna do with 2 kids? My mom was like my main help. She was the person who did everything for me. How I'm finna raise 2 kids by myself? Y'all, I'm a child myself. How am I finna raise 2 kids? So I'm like, okay, well, you really got to do something. You really have to do something. So I decided to go to school. I decided to start in a patient care technician course, and I got my CNA within that. And then after I started working as a CNA, I went back and got my medical and went in for medical assistant. And I'm working as a medical assistant right now, and I am also in nursing school. So, y'all, that's just a little bit about my life, but that's the reason why I decided to get in the medical field, because I felt so helpless and useless when my mom died that I could not help her. I couldn't. It was nothing that I can do, and I just know for a fact I could have helped her. So with that being said, y'all, even if y'all don't want to do the whole 9 yards, medical assistant, nursing, y'all just at least get CPR or just the basics. Just take a course so that you can know and understand some of the signs and symptoms of certain things, and you can help your family and your friends out. Because I honestly felt like I felt useless. I did, but not no more. Because I'm about to finish nursing school, y'all. I'm finna get on it. But yeah, thank y'all for watching this video. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, please. My next video, I will upload it pretty soon. Again, y'all, I told y'all it's hard with these 3 kids. These 3 kids is hard. But go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Add your comments at the bottom, and anybody has any questions, I will definitely get to it the quickest and the best way I know how. Okay, y'all have a good one.